Hi there, Michael James here, and I'm delighted to be here with another Udemy instructor, Ramon Jensen. Ramon does management and leadership courses on Udemy. And for our upcoming course, we've been talking about our past experiences in projects and looking at them through a Scrum lens. And one of these experiences, we thought we'd just put it on camera right now because it's a really interesting one. Ramon, do you want to tell us a bit more about this particular example?
Yeah, exactly. And it's the question is basically about the inconsistency in quality of delivering of functionality, but I'll explain it a little bit more also for the viewers, right? So I worked in an IT company. The IT company sold products business, to resellers. And we had a portal where the resellers, the customers, could log in and they could see where their order was, when it's going to be delivered and that kind of stuff. So in the beginning, when we started with that portal, we came with some basic functionality and the customers loved it. They were really happy with it. And everybody started using it and we got enthusiastic. We had more features, more things we added to it. But then suddenly in a further stage, after 3 or 4 extra releases and features, we noticed that customers were not so happy anymore and they started to complain about these new things. And I'm like, how is that possible? Because you did so well and suddenly we didn't do so well anymore. So I'm not clear what exactly went wrong and how Scrum could have prevented that, it could have helped in that situation.
Yeah, sure. Well, firstly, that's iterative development, which is really good. So you definitely got something right there in terms of Scrum and Agile. Just to find out a little bit more about what the problem was with the users. Were they not happy with the features? Were they not valuable for the users, or were there like problems with the features?
Yeah, bugs, and things were not so logical. So there was like, I expected that to be there, but it was on another page. But also some things had errors in it, and to be honest, even language mistakes.
Right. Okay. So sounds like you've had a bit of a quality slip
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That your previous features that you released, the other iterations were of high standard.
Yeah,
and then they've,
exactly.
So Scrum has guardrails for this, and it's called the definition of done.
Right.
What the definition of done is, it's the commitment for the increments. And it's a list, basically, of all the things that you need to check before an increment is deemed ready and can be released. So the definition of done is your tangible, shared, transparent, and complied with list of all the things that you need to check in order to make sure that your increment has passed its quality criteria, basically. And either that will be given to you by your organization if they have certain quality standards that all the teams have to meet, or if that isn't available, then hopefully your team should have documented some checks and the list of checks that they need to do. Now, if that isn't either written down, or if it is written down but not shared, then new teams can come along, and if they're not sticking to it, they get a little bit complacent maybe, and they can release features that haven't gone through the full rigor of all the checks, and you potentially open yourself up to releasing something that's got problems.
Yeah. I think you make a good point here, because I do realize now also in hindsight that in the beginning of the team, we had a solid team that worked together with each other for a long time, but that some team members, they left and other team members came in. And I think that the definition of done was clear in their heads in the beginning with the original team, but when the team changed, I think the new members, because they didn't see it or read it or know anything about it, they had a different idea about it. So I think it just watered down, basically.
Yeah, so there's been a knowledge transfer gap, hasn't there? So some new team members were really good at what they did, and or they were just there at the start of the project and they knew the sort of checks that they had to do. People come and go, and if people leave and they don't share that knowledge, then you get a knowledge transfer gap. But the way that Scrum deals with this is transparency. This is kind of one of the empirical pillars of Scrum, and it's quite big on transparency. And what that means is making that definition of done accessible, available, known about, communicated, all of those words, but basically make sure everybody knows it's written down. These are the steps that we need to take, the testing steps, the checking for spelling and grammar or whatever checks that you've got in it. Everybody knows that exists, and all of those checks have to be done before your update can be even considered for release. So by making it transparent, making it tangible, and having something there, new people coming in should be alerted to this, and they won't then basically make that mistake of, the previous people had a definition done in their head, but it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't shared. By having it tangible, you can't really make that mistake.
Right. Perfect. That answers my question.
Great example, Ramon. And we're going to talk about more examples like this in our upcoming course. Okay, so thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did like it, give us a like and a subscribe. We're going to be bringing more videos like this out on my channel. And again, thanks for watching and bye for now.